What's up, brothers? Hope everybody's doing well out there. I'm out here enjoying some nice weather this evening, so I figured I'll turn the camera on and come out here and shoot the shit with you guys for a little bit. And in tonight's video, I want to talk about the fact that, if you find yourself hitting 31, 32 years old, and you're not married, and you don't have any kids, well, it's time to, start thinking about the future and, really rationalizing and understanding that you may be single the rest of your life. You're at that age where maybe it's just not in your playbook, and you gotta really think about it. If you want to change that, you got to make a change right now. If you don't want to change that, then, just live your life. But in reality, there's only two reasons why somebody would be single. And reason number one is because maybe you just enjoy your alone time. You could call it selfishness. Maybe you're focused on your career, your hobbies, and, a long-term relationship would just get in the way. I know a lot of people like that, and I've been that way quite a bit myself. I'm so busy all the time. I just have so much going on that, typically, a lot of times I don't have time for a relationship. But reason number two is kind of a black pill. It's something that a lot of people probably don't want to think about, but it's true. And that is that the person you like doesn't like you back. That sucks. It's unfortunate. Nobody wants that to be the case, but sometimes it is. Neighbors, dogs running around. And that's something that you have to think about. Once you cross 31, 32 years old, marriage and family may not be in your deck of cards. And like I said, you got to either find a way to change that or find a way to, accept it, be happy with it. But, if you want to take a look at the way society has changed in the recent years, it's pretty clear. Women are more focused on their careers nowadays. And, to be honest with you, I don't think men have really ever wanted to get married. There's a little secret for you, but I don't think men ever wanted to get married. I think they just did it because they wanted a woman, they wanted sex, they wanted family, so they did what they thought was right. They did what they thought was the best solution to solve that problem. But in this day and age, the laws are stacked against men. There's just too much legal risk going on there. And, to be honest with you, you got the dating apps, you got hookup culture, you got all this stuff going on. And a man can be totally satisfied, never get married, never have children. Now, of course, having children is probably the ultimate satisfaction. I don't think there could be a bigger accomplishment in one's life than having children, but you can't miss what you don't have. We'll put it like that. You don't regret losing something you never had, and that's sort of maybe a coping mechanism, but it's something that can help you accept it. But I've realized that the people that watch this type of content, dating and relationships content, lifestyle type content, people that are fans of this sort of stuff, they're typically people that are single. They're confused. They're not sure what they should do. They're not sure where their life is going to go. And they find comfort in these type of videos. They find it, they find it nice that maybe they're sitting at home on their laptop or their phone, and somebody pops up on the screen that's in a similar situation to them. And I don't think the majority of married people that are happy with families are sitting around watching YouTube videos. They've got families to take care of. So the majority of people watching these are in that same boat. And I guess the big thing is, number one, you got to have community of some sort. And even if you don't have a direct community right there with you, in this day and age, one good thing about the internet is you can have community here on the internet with videos like this, at least for the 10, 15, 20 minutes that these videos last, it's enough to give you some comfort and, change your mood for the day. Make it not feel so bad, I suppose. But you also got to think, if you were married, if you did have children, all of the freedoms that you have right now and all the things you have going on in your life right now, for the most part, would probably be erased. They'd be sacrificed. You'd switch one out for the other. And, is that something that you want to do? Is that a change that you want to make? Because I think most of you could, but it would take some drastic changes. And if you are somebody that does want to find a relationship, I know a lot of you come to the manosphere, you come to the dating and relationships areas of YouTube, and you try to get dating advice. It's related to cold approaching and game and frame and learning how to communicate with the opposite sex and get the ball rolling in that aspect of your life. But I'm going to be honest with you. Which relationship do you think has a higher chance of surviving? Or which scenario do you think has a higher chance of creating a relationship that's going to survive, I should say? Scenario number one, you're at the nightclubs, you're getting drunk, you're cold approaching women, or if you're a woman, you're talking to men, and you're out there partying it up and having fun, and you meet somebody, you have sex with them, and you just hope it works out. Or if you just have a common scenario, you're out mowing your front lawn and a woman walks by, lives down the street walking her dog, and you just start a conversation and you get the ball rolling in that way. I think ultimately you have to build the life that you want, and then you welcome the person into your life. I don't think it's a good idea to take the dating and the relationships so serious to where it's like a career, where you think you have to go out seeking somebody. I think in reality, you build your life, and it may not be quite as fast-paced, but people will come and go, and usually it's the right kind of people. You can attract the right kind of people and bring them into your life, if that makes sense. But typically that's how scenarios work in my life. It's sort of when you least expect it, that's when you meet those special people. But I suppose that's not a great strategy for everybody. I'm not necessarily trying to give you a strategy here. I'm just saying the way my life works, that's typically how it goes. But I think another thing to take into consideration is the fact that a lot of women out there, a high percentage of women out there, want to live hot girl summer all the way up until their 30s. And a lot of men out there want to focus on looks, money, and status in their careers, establishing themselves in their 20s until they hit their 30s. But there's something a lot of people don't tell you about, and especially if you're a guy out there. Everyone wants to tell you, hey, just focus on your career, make your money, establish yourself, looks, money, status. And then once you hit 33, 34, 35, go find yourself a 21-year-old girl and marry her and have kids. Here's what they don't tell you. 'Cause first of all, let me tell you, from experience, that is true. That is an effective strategy. Okay, when you're 35 years old, it's going to be very easy for you to date 21-year-old women. Mostly because they're young, they're inexperienced, they're naive. And, honestly, the biggest reason is probably because men in their age group aren't mature enough. Not mentally, not financially. They're just not mature enough in any way. So, a lot of these girls are attracted to older men. And that is something that you can definitely accomplish. But what they're not telling you is that when you're 35 years old, for the most part, I'm not saying everybody's going to be this way. This is the way I have been, and the way a lot of guys that I talk to are. And that is that you don't have anything in common with a 21-year-old girl. She's immature, and when you're trying to have a conversation with her or trying to date her, you feel like you're talking to a child. The maturity difference is just so large. You don't even view her as a compatible mate, a compatible girlfriend. And that's the majority of men. I know everyone wants to tell you, no, you hit 35 and then you bang these hot 21-year-old girls. It's not the way the average mind works. Most guys aren't going to be into that. When you're 35, you're going to look at 20-year-old girls like they're kids. You're just not even going to see them in a sexual way. I know, not for everybody. There's a lot of men out there that think they want to live the Hugh Hefner lifestyle, so they think, they'll just grow old and be hooking up with young chicks their whole life, and some guys are into that. But most guys aren't. So fair warning, if that's your plan, just understand that may be the outcome. It may not go exactly as you wanted it to. And all the women out there that want to focus on their careers and, be that young hot chick for as long as they can. And nowadays they have plastic surgery, they have Botox, they have breast implants, they have all these different bras and pants that shape their asses and makeup and hair dye and, whatever. So a lot of women really are trying to push that hot girl summer all the way up until the big 4-0. But, bad news is their dating pool shrinks up quite a bit as well. It's pretty rough for them, and the wall is a real thing. So, if a woman thinks, well, she'll just have the time of her life in her 20s and then settle down in her 30s, she's probably going to have a rough time finding a high-quality, high-value man to settle down with. Because, look, a lot of those guys that hit 35 and are successful are going to want a younger woman. Most of them are secretly going to want a woman their age, but the problem is they're not attracted to women their age. So men price themselves out of the market, and so do women. It's this outlet of both sides pricing themselves out of their market. Because if you're a single guy who's 35 and you're making 6 figures a year, you've bought a home, you've got your ducks in a row, your checks and balances are all checking out, then you get back out there in the dating game and you say, okay, 21-year-olds. Then you realize, holy shit, I have nothing in common with these girls. They're like kids. Then you say 35-year-olds. No thanks. No thanks. Most of them are single moms, and the ones that are still single, they're, I don't know. You just aren't into them. It's like you sacrificed. If you would have settled down with that 35-year-old when you were both 20, you'd be happy because you got her when she was young and hot, then you grew old together. But now it's like, doesn't have the same appeal. So just beware. You can price yourself out of the market, and then you just kind of take a look around and you realize, I'm not really that attracted to any of these people. What's going on here? And then you find yourself back in the hookup culture because you still want to get laid, but you don't see any potential mates that you really want to be with. Like I said, for women, women do have it easier. She can always find a a less desirable man that makes decent money though, and he'll still take her in. But at the end of the day, would you rather be miserable with somebody or happy alone? That's something that you have to evaluate. And I guess that's what comes along with being single post 30. Rough ride, isn't it? But, there's a lot of peace that you get. It's definitely a peaceful lifestyle. Coming home by yourself, you mow the lawn, you crack open a beer, you meet up with some chick on Tinder. Not so bad, And you get to focus on working out, get to focus on your hobbies and, whatever it is you have going on. And you get to live an enjoyable life, so shouldn't be hard on yourself. For all the people out there that stay up all night every night, crying yourself to sleep because nobody's ever going to love you. Hey, comes with the territory. Comes with the territory of being a person that makes yourself your own mental point of origin. Call it selfish, call it what you want, but it's part of the game. But who knows what tomorrow will bring. Maybe you'll meet that special person and you'll settle down, and you'll get married and you'll have kids. Who knows? All right. Well, it seems like I'm just kind of rambling at this point. But I didn't really have anything on the agenda tonight, so I just figured I'll come out here and turn the camera on and, just try to have a relatable conversation. But, I spent this last week or so planting a few trees, waiting on my 100,000 subscriber YouTube plaque to come in the mail. And, I've been kind of busy. Haven't had the chance to make any videos, so I just wanted to catch up with you guys. And, hope this video was somewhat informative. But that's about it for today, guys. Until next time, see ya.